and Zoe Ritter also in there. She is a guard at 5'8", a freshman. And Marley Macris, she is a 5'11" post. She is a junior. So you've got Rookstool, Pukas, Toma, Ritter, and Macris. That is your starting lineup for Glacier Peak. Over to the other side for the Snohomish Panthers, and it'll be Bela Stitch. She is a 5'8" junior, or make that sophomore guard. Also Sienna Capelli, a 5'8" freshman guard. Jada Andreessen, a 5'4" senior guard. Catherine Green, a 5'11" junior forward. And Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles, she is a 6-foot forward and a sophomore. So you've got Stitch, Capelli, Andreessen, Green, and Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. Head coach is Ken Roberts, and he has been here for a generation, about 2 decades, and done a great job. Got the hardware 7 times, and we're going to take a pause now for the national anthem. We'll take a break here if it's set up for that on STSPN.com. And we are ready to go, getting here, things set up live at Snohomish High School. Certainly one of the great spots to come watch high school sports, whether it be in here in the gymnasium or outside at the football stadium, soccer stadium, and I'll tell you what, volleyball's played in here as well, but you always feel very welcome. It's a great community, and so is the Glacier Peak area across the way. Also part of it all in here in Snohomish, so we get these 2 teams ready to go. Glacier Peak Grizzlies, Snohomish Panthers. Glacier Peak will be in the blue with the white and silver on their uniforms. Snohomish in the white with the red. Snohomish been around a long, long time. The high school going since 1894. A lot of tradition here. Glacier Peak opened in 2008, just across the Snohomish Valley there. And it's a great facility as well over there, and a great tradition they've built up in just going into their 15th year this year. So the band is here tonight. Todd, how are you tonight, sir?
Doing well, doing well.
It's nice to get rolling again. I know you had one a couple of nights ago. And here we are on Friday night. We got a doubleheader as Snohomish on the screen will go from your left to right. As these 2 get set to tip it off, it's Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. I'll tell you what, I just love that name, and there's 2 of them on the roster. So we get to enjoy that. We got a hell ball starting things off now. Keep in mind, these 2 have known each other a long time. When I say that, I mean they started out in the little dribbler program, and earlier when they were like just in 4, 5, 6, 7 years old in there, and then they just keep advancing through the ranks for both schools, and so they definitely are well acquainted with each other. Okay, Snohomish is going to win the tip as they redo it, and the Panthers will get things going. Usually what we see from Snohomish is they like to pass the ball and set up a really good shot like that. That was exactly what I'm talking about right there. Andreessen with the 3 ball, but it was a pass from Capelli that also set it up, and you got to give credit where credit is due. That was well executed. We might see Snohomish run a few more passes along the way, but that one was where she felt comfortable to take a shot, did it, and connected off the glass. Miss on the other end, and here come the Panthers down into the front end of the court. We have got ourselves a nice gathering here tonight at Snohomish. The road team fans didn't have to travel far. Look at that nice grab. It's taken and picked up off the floor there. Good presence of mind by Brenna Pukas. Pukas with, now over on the other end, the shot by Sammy Toma, and Toma hits a 3-ball. Pukas with 29 points the other night in the Glacier Peak 65-60 win against Meadowdale. We are tied at 3. Panthers working it around. There you go. And a missed shot. Not what they want to see, but what I want to see and was hoping to see is what's sitting in front of me right now. Todd, would that happen to be a parachute punch from Airfield Espresso?
It is.
Oh, my goodness. That looks absolutely delicious. And I appreciate you either swinging by or having them drop it off, but I'll tell you what. They did drop it off.
They brought it all the way up here.
Oh, my gosh. You just got to love how they do things there. Just down the hill and right there by Harvey Field. Airfield Espresso, and they make delicious drinks there. Glacier Peak and Snohomish tied at 3. Oh, rattling it down. That's a 2-pointer.
Was that 2 or 3?
It's 2. They have 6 up there, but he held out 2 as he was coming off the arc at that time, the official. So Snohomish down by 2 points. They'll go inside. Double team comes loose, and we're going to have a blocking foul. This will be the first foul of the ball game. 5:53 to go in the first quarter. Brenna Pukas with the foul, her first, and that is the first team foul. Snohomish inbounded on the baseline. 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. Long range coming out of there, getting the board. Good positioning for Bayla Stitch. And the Panthers get a fresh time on the clock here. Both teams having their cheerleaders in the building. Quite a few from Glacier Peak making the long commute over. And a traveling call. That's going to turn it over to Glacier Peak. So the Panthers getting on the scoreboard on their first time down court. Jada Andreessen connecting on a 3-pointer off the right side. And Glacier Peak's hit a couple of outside shots to have that 2-point lead. Going inside off the double team. Nope, a little bit low that time. Nice thought by Rookstool. And the Panthers going the other direction. Got a hand on it down there as Snohomish will reset and go up top. Sienna Capelli, the point guard, overseeing the offense right here. They haven't had a lot of time to practice with coming in from, count that basket. That is going to be good for Catherine Green. 2 points right there. And the foul indication is against Zoe Ritter. Her first foul, second team foul. At the line is Green. 1 shot. A little hard off the side there. Panthers end up with it, though. That was good hustle. Stolen away, but nice hustle by Gildersleeve Stiles out there. 5-5. We are tied for the second time. Lead has switched hands once. Oh, my goodness. Another banker, this time for Zoe Ritter. And it's 8-5. Biggest lead of the game for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Underneath. And going to come away into Glacier Peak's hands. There's Zoe Ritter coming the other direction. She's just a freshman. Here they go. Another outside shot. Perfect! Coming through. Marley Macris off the pass from Kai Rookstool. So they've hit 3 3-pointers. They're up by 6. And you got to think that Ken Roberts might be thinking timeout here pretty quick. We got something right there. Traveling. Panthers with their 3rd turnover of the game. So
there he goes.
To make a substitution. Coming into the game is Brooklyn Gildersleeve Stiles, replacing Catherine Green. Peak bringing the ball out of backcourt slowly, looking around to find an opportunity, but they have been just crushing it from the outside. 4 big outside shots made, that one close. And a strong rebound by Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. So both the Gildersleeve Stiles ladies are on the court right now to make sure to challenge me for saying their name right. That's a kick. Going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Glacier Peak. You know, we're going to be talking these guys up from Airfield Espresso a lot tonight. I mean, the fact that they did this for us last spring of 2021 when we were here, because we had to do things a little bit differently with the pandemic. At least we were able to broadcast. And they brought it, as we were talking about. Now today I said, well, wouldn't that be great to have that? And sure enough, you just made the mention and they show up and boom, we're taken care of. Wow. It'll be just an appropriate sugar high for me to get through the doubleheader.
Exactly.
That is a perfect three-pointer from Brooklyn. Not New York, but Gildersleeve Stiles. And it's 11-8. That closes the gap some here with coming up on 3 minutes to go shortly in the first quarter. First of 8 quarters here. We'll have 4 in this one and then 4 in the men's game. The boys' game coming up to follow. We're seeing Catherine Green and Gildersleeve. Actually, Gildersleeve getting the Stiles getting the rebounds in there. Green was working for him earlier. Now Gildersleeve Stiles just doing a great job out there in her time she started and has played the entire time. That rim's out of there. And the Grizzlies will now work it one more time as they've been getting some presence underneath the board. Snohomish has got some good height out there. Gildersleeve Stiles, that's Tyler, the sophomore. She is a presence, but got faked out some that time as Marley Macris puts it in, and she's got 5. She leads Glacier Peak in scoring. They're up by 5, and their biggest lead has been 6 at 11-5. But Snohomish staying in what they like to do. You know, watch for them to move the ball around. Going inside, she's got 2 or 3 around her. Nice dish. Good pop at it. Oh, and a great follow-up. How about that? Down low. Bayla Stitch getting it done. Keeps Snohomish to within 3 points here in the first quarter at Snohomish High School on STSPN.com. That bounces out of there, and Glacier Peak doing a really good job getting the board. Pukas back up top, she goes, and that's a 2-pointer. Marley Macris now has 7 points, and she leads both teams in scoring. Snohomish has 2 tied for 3 points each. But they've been distributing the ball well, both teams. Both teams have 4 scorers in the book so far with 1:17 to go in the first quarter. It is fun to watch how they work that ball around, especially as I was about to say earlier. Oh, that almost went in, but it's going to be 2 shots for Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. That foul goes against Marley Macris. That's her first foul. Team foul number 3, and it will be 2 shots for Gildersleeve Stiles. This is the first trip to the line as for her as she gets set to go. Green was there earlier. Substitutions in for Snohomish is Kendall Hammer. Couple new players in for Glacier Peak. Kate Fowler, a junior, and Jessie Emmons, also a junior. Got to try to nail one of these right here. You don't want to give Glacier Peak all those opportunities. Both these teams are led by veteran coaches who know each other pretty well and certainly know what they want to do team-wise. There's been a lot of success between Ken Roberts and Brian Hill. You got some action down underneath. That looks like 3 in the key has been called, so it's going to turn the ball back over to Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak with 1 turnover. Snohomish has 4 of them. That makes a difference right there as they make a change once again. Catherine Green is back into the contest. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Glacier Peak has held the lead throughout most of it once they got on top 5-3. Snohomish with the early 3-0 lead on the 3-pointer to start things off. Outside the arc. Snohomish forcing them outside. Now, Glacier Peak's been good with the shooting so far, but if they keep putting it up, either they're going to keep making it, obviously, or that could cool. And Snohomish, if they win the battle inside, that's going to make a difference. Panthers going the other direction, prowling out of backcourt, up against the Grizzlies. Gotta like that. Panthers and Grizzlies going at it. It's like a backwoods battle. And we got a foul. This is on the floor. It's going to be a blocking foul. And also against Glacier Peak. That will be their 4th team foul. And the foul this time is going against Jesse Emmons. Off the mark. Coming down to the 10-second mark. Good drive. Got to do something with it. 5 seconds. Still got time. It's going out of bounds. One of the players got kind of banged up down there for Glacier Peak as the gym quiets and everybody takes a look at things. That's Kailani Rookstool. Make sure she's okay. They just want to give her some room, and she gets up. She's from Glacier Peak. She's tough. Both sides are tough. They grow them tough up here, don't they, Todd?
They do.
They do.
And I got to tell you, Snohomish is one of those funny teams. Sometimes you don't see a lot out of them in the first part of the season, but they're always at it right at the end.
You better believe they are. That is going to be out of bounds and the end of the quarter. So we're through one here at Snohomish High School, and the score, Glacier Peak 15 and Snohomish 10. We'll take a timeout. This is STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
The gang's all here. We're happy to be here. And Todd, once again, you've done a great job of putting together a broadcast schedule that is exciting for us to view and commit to dates on. And then, of course, the great part is to come out here and do these games. Working with you, we've been together for a decade now, and you've been doing this for going on 13 seasons, I believe.
That is correct.
And we got some great sponsors like McDaniel's Do-It Center. Right from the beginning, they are a charter sponsor. You just saw an ad for them. They got everything in there. Go on and stop in and say hi.
You know what I like
do
there.
a buy. Oh, just off. Okay, we're going to getting going in here in the second quarter. It's 15-10. Glacier Peak on top after one, and Snohomish has the ball. Yes, sir.
Well, it's the survival and bullets.
Yeah. Make sure you're all set there in case this. Oh, wow. Kendall Hammer. How about that? Getting it done, driving on the right side. She did not start the game. Just a freshman, 5'7" guard. And, wow, that was a nice-looking move right there. Gets Snohomish to within 3. The biggest lead earlier for Glacier Peak was 6 at 11-5. And knocked away. Panthers ball. A 3 would tie it. They're going to slow it up. I really like what I'm seeing from Sienna Capelli. She has good presence of mind out there on the point. And trying to get that ball distributed around. That was not such a good move, though, but she's going to chase it down and get it. Got to get a little more towards the glass. Still very early in the season. Just off the side. Go ahead.
A little bit of a Euro step there.
Yeah, Euro step. But I was about to say earlier that you've got some of these players coming in from other sports, too, or the holiday with the Thanksgiving and all that, and just getting things up to speed. As Ken said, we're just trying to get everybody all on the same time on the floor there, and they've done it a couple of times for practices.
I didn't see that. What was that?
That might have been 3 in the key. Called one earlier. At any rate, it's turnover number 3 against Glacier Peak, and Snohomish with 4 of them as the Panthers will inbound in backcourt. Down by 3 points. And they will stay patient with it. One of the things you mentioned, Todd, in the first quarter is the fact that Snohomish, at the start of the season, you may not see them dominating or, they're always competitive. Looks like we got an offensive foul coming up right here. Yep, that's it. That's going to be on Sienna Capelli, who's played the whole game. That's her first team foul, so there was none against Snohomish in that first quarter. 4 called against Glacier Peak. But part of it is that Ken Roberts, a longtime coach here for the Panthers, likes to give them a break. And during the summer and such where, a lot of these kids are playing select, they're going year-round, and they're getting tired and worn out a lot of times. That is going to be a foul going in. It'll be 2 shots for Sammy Toma. Foul is going to be whistled against Brooklyn Gildersleeve Stiles, her first. And the second on the Panthers. First shot is perfect. Nice form by Sammy Toma, who now has 4 points. Leading scorer for both teams is Marley Macris. She has 7. Both of those are in. But Ken and I have talked about this in the past, and he likes to give his young ladies, his team, a chance to be able to do other things in the summertime and family time and such like that. If they want to play select or what have you, fine. But he likes to give them some time, and if they play another sport in the fall, let them recuperate from that to a good degree and then get rolling. And then as the season goes along, the Panthers just keep getting better and better. And that's why you see them doing things like finishing 4th in the state in the spring, or the 3 second places they've had under Ken Roberts. He's going to get one of these times. I've had a chance to call one of those, and you just love to see how the consistency goes for Snohomish. We got a held ball. Not much scoring here in the second quarter. Each team just has 2 points, 5:12 to go in the second. So the Panthers mixing things up just a little bit right here. And inside they go. That was a basket by Jesse Emmons. 19-12 is the score. Up by 7 now. This is the biggest lead of the game for Glacier Peak. Turnaround and off the rim. That was a little bit short. She had a nice move and positioning in there, but you got to finish it up. Got to save some of that strength for the end. Underneath, they're going there and more, and it works. Kailani Rookstool with the basket. Ken Roberts says, I want a timeout. 21-12 is the score, and we're going to take a
Love that.
You're not laughing at Snohomish. We're laughing only because it's the title of a Rush, the rock band album, just to clarify that. So anyway, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more after this. Well, just like that, it's a 9-point lead for Glacier Peak, the biggest lead of the game for either team. Snohomish's only lead was 3-0 early. Glacier Peak then tied it with a 3-ball, took the lead at 5-3, then 5-5, and then they've held the lead ever since that time. So outscoring them 16-7. Looks like something on the floor there. They're going to go have to. What, are they kicking out one of your friends, Todd, from Glacier Peak for being too loud? Now, you are fair and biased, though. I will say that totally, even though you had 3 great children graduate from Glacier Peak High School, one of them to our right, who's now also a graduate of Everett Community College, which would be Sarah.
She's now moving on to being EMT.
Love to hear that. She'll be a great one, too. So, yeah, there is something going on down there. What is this? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there is somebody that they're on a stretcher down there.
Oh, gosh, that's –
yeah.
I hope they're all right.
I do, too. I don't know what happened down there, but it was on the down to our right, which would be on the west side of the gym, right by the Glacier Peak bench. I hope it's not a player or,
no, it was
no matter who it is, you hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, it was a fan, older fan.
Okay, well, we hope and pray that they're okay.
By God's grace, it wasn't me.
Yeah, no kidding. But They got him moved along there. They had a stretcher in here pretty quickly to take care of that. 21-12 is the score as Snohomish is down by 9, and they will have the basketball. Also tonight's broadcast brought to you by GNS Heating, Cooling, and Air Conditioning. Heating's a big thing right now. Get them on your list for making sure everything's going okay. They'll definitely take good care of you. They're a longtime sponsor with us.
Yes,
look at that right there. That's magic. Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles with her first 2 of the game on the banker. And Snohomish needed that. Getting to within 7 right now. Panthers lost earlier this week at Linden Christian. There's a drive to the basket. Oh, double miss for them. And this is where the Panthers need to start taking hold of things. Did well on the defensive end, and they've been doing strong on the boards for the most part. However, it's on the other end where they've lost the battle on the offensive end. Cross-court pass, that looks good right there. She just couldn't close it. Now the Panthers in between the circles looking to go inside. Really like watching Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. She is a presence inside, works hard. Again, just a sophomore. All right, Panthers give it up. 6 turnovers for Snohomish. As now you see Glacier Peak moving the ball well. That's the thing about these two teams. They're well disciplined and coached, and they're not just usually flinging things up there. They're working for it. That's a ways out, but she got it all. Brenna Pukas, her first 3-pointer. She has 5 points in the game, had 29 points in their win over Meadowdale. They won 65-60 and just lit it up. Averaged 12 points a game last year. Stolen away as the Panthers commit turnover number 7 under 3 minutes to go. 10-point lead at 24-14. Biggest lead of the game for Glacier Peak. She wants another one. Good look. Well, looks like it came off the top, hit the superstructure. And it will be Panthers basketball as they really need to start putting a couple of things together here, close that gap, or they're going to have that score doubled up on them. Now, Todd, will you have some highlights and such at halftime? Or what do we have coming up, or just taking a break?
A little bit of
a montage?
Well, no, a little bit of an error.
Oh, well, hopefully we're going out okay.
Well, no, we're going out perfect.
Good.
No, we did a little bit of an error with the communication, allowing the scoreboard back in through the firewall.
Through the firewall, so are you going to have to call Daktronics in South Dakota to work on this?
Exactly.
Well, once you make that call, it'll get taken care of immediately.
Actually, Edson over at the school district.
There you go. Pull-up jumper. Boom. Wow. Pukas. She's got 7. Now tied with Marley Macris for the team lead and the game lead in scoring. Each has 7, but Macris does not have any here in the second quarter. Player goes down. Underneath, you got to make that one, and she does. Gildersleeve Stiles, that's Tyler, connecting. So it was up to a 12-point lead, and now sitting at 10. Crowd very much into it. Both schools with great representation in the student section. The Snohomish band right in between the two. It feels great.
They're the buffer zone.
They are. Nice. Good job underneath. Coming through with that ball was Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. Way out in the corner. Again, Snohomish got to be looking for something smart right here. Oh, traveling. Too bad on that. She had the right idea. She got blocked in, but she took a couple of steps. Sammy Toma will now check back in for Glacier Peak. Yeah, high school football season isn't fully done yet, as Lake Stevens will be playing against Kennedy Catholic tomorrow for the 4A state championship down at Mount Tahoma High School. Go Vikings. Go get it. Get it for Wesco. Get it for us. Another big jumper outside, miss. But, you know, the thing is, Todd, even on the misses, they've been pretty spot on. I mean, it's not like they've been way, way off the mark and stuff. They've been right there in the cone.
Yeah, you know, that 34, she's really dominant down there in the paint.
It's fun to watch. Just a sophomore. Oh, that's a tough miss. There she goes. She got hooked a little bit there. but no foul call. Long jumper. Good.
Oh,
How about
hello.
those three? Jada Andreessen with her second three-pointer in the game, closing the gap to 7. It was at 12, and setting a nice tone for what we could see in the second half. Oh, yeah, she fouled her. That was not a smart foul. Some fouls are smart. That wasn't one of them.
Keep pushing until
First
they call
foul,
it, right?
yeah. She might have misstepped a little bit and just overcommitted. They're going to sit her down just briefly. There's only 2.6 to go here in the second quarter, and the lead is sitting at 7 as Glacier Peak trying to inbound. They got to be quick to get something here. Not going to happen. All right, the Panthers got a little flurry going there at the end of the quarter, so it is now 26-19 as Glacier Peak got 11 in that quarter, and the Panthers got 9, but they got 9 later on, so that was good to carry some momentum into the locker room at halftime. We're at halftime here at Snohomish High School. It is wonderful to have you with us as we start venturing into our high school basketball season. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig, we're here, and we'll be back after the break here, getting close to the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in about 8 or 9 minutes on STSPN.com.
I want to let everybody know I'm going to reset during the half, so if you see it start buffering for a second, that's just us resetting the gear.
All right, if you see it start rebuffering, hang with us. We'll be just fine.
Yeah, there's no problem. I'm just going to reset to try to get the scoreboard back.
I think it was 2013 I did my first game with you, I think. It wasn't any later than that.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this.
To the 4 a.m. starts, training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters.
But it doesn't matter.
Come with us to the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. You rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best. Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back, and, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
in the end, we're fighting for each other.
Full practice, Witch Doctor requested immediate hot extra. Take it on.
Here on a team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's right here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
For a place, a people, an idea, for right and freedom, for liberty and justice for all, for every square inch between fruited plains and spacious skies. Marines fight to win. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Against all threats to progress and prosperity. Against all fears, excuses, and limitations trying to hold us back. We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. We win our nation's battles by outmatching the most demanding missions with those most willing to engage and most determined to defeat every adversary. We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won.
Alrighty, here we are. 26-19 is the score. We are at Snohomish High School, and we are Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, and Sarah Elvig. And what a tremendous game we've seen so far as these two teams competing against each other. Been a spread in the score as Glacier Peak had it up to 12 points. And then Snohomish came reeling right back and cut it down to 7 with momentum going into the third quarter. So we'll see if they can carry that forward. Now Glacier Peak will be going from your left to right in their blue uniforms. Snohomish from right to left in their white uniforms. And they had quite the halftime musical chairs contest involving the Snohomish High School band and involving students from both Glacier Peak and Snohomish High School. And at the end, it was a hard-fought battle, but a young man from Snohomish literally wrestled his way with that young lady from Glacier Peak to win the pizza and the bragging rights until they do it again next year.
I think you were right, though. We should have had that on for replay.
Yeah, but, you know, to your credit, your defense, you were actually working on making sure our production was good for the second half. So
that is correct.
I know that you were tied up on a project. I can verify that. Glacier Peak stealing it away, now in front court. So they led 15-10 at the end of the first quarter, and a 7-point lead at the end of 2. So they added a couple more points onto it. But, yeah, it was up to 26-14 before Snohomish reeled off 5 in a row. There's a big one coming out. They're starting to see Glacier Peak cool off a little bit. That's a travel. That's going to be turnover number 10, second already here in the second half. And that's something Snohomish is really going to have to cut down on. Glacier Peak only has 4 turnovers. That's made the big difference. Also, Glacier Peak has had some big 3 balls out there. In the first quarter, they hit 3. In the second quarter, 1. So 4 in the game. Snohomish with 3 in the game, but they've spread them out a little bit. That's out of bounds. Last touch by the Grizzlies, so that becomes turnover number 5. This is the first game of a doubleheader on STSPN tonight. Our second game will also feature Glacier Peak against Snohomish, 4A against 3A. 2 great neighboring communities that know each other well. A lot of great people on the floor and in the building when you come to Snohomish or Glacier Peak.
That is correct.
We got a whistle. Looks like it's going to be a turnover going the other direction to Glacier Peak. How long have you lived in the area, Todd? I've known you for over a decade, but when did you move up to the Snohomish area?
Since 1987.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long. There's a 3-pointer. Kailani Rookstool with her first 3 of the game has 5 points, and it's back to a 10-point lead for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Over the other direction, out of bounds. Snohomish would turn over number 4 of the quarter, 12 of the game, and that is a big factor to keep track of. Kendall Hammer will come back into the lineup and is going to replace Bela Stitch. David Larson and Steve Ritteman are the assistant coaches. Those are for the Panthers, Ritteman and Larson. 10-point lead, and Glacier Peak just taking their time with it. Come way short on that shot. And Snohomish, well, there's still over 14 minutes of regulation time left in this game, needs to put a little bit of sense of urgency in, or Glacier Peak's going to keep rolling with it as they come up with the rebound that time. And out of backcourt is Brenna Hukas, a sophomore who can light it up. And they're talking about lighting it up. There it is, one from the corner. That is Zoe Ritter. Ritter with her second 3-ball of the game. It's up to a 13-point lead at 32-19. And Ken Roberts says, I want to talk to my team. Timeout, Snohomish, 5:48 to go, third quarter.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
We welcome you back live to Snohomish High School. I'm Mark Aucutt with Todd Elvig as the Panthers getting out on the court first after the timeout they called. They've called a couple of them in the game. It was 21-12 when they called the first one in the first half, and now after being down 9 points that time, and then eventually closing it to a 7-point deficit, they're back down by 13 to Glacier Peak. Breaking it down for the Grizzlies, they're a pretty young team. They've got 11 players on the roster, 1 senior, 4 juniors, 4 sophomores, 2 freshmen. That's going to be a miss, and the Grizzlies now with an opportunity to get it up to 15 or 16 points. Wide open over there. Rolls out. She definitely had look and the time, just one of those things, but it was right pretty much on the mark. Panthers get the board. They go the other direction, and we got a whistle. It looks like it's going to be against Glacier Peak. Their first team foul of the second half. That foul is against Sammy Toma, her first foul. Into the game for Snohomish. Number 14, you see there, Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles, and the Panthers will inbound. Just can't catch a break on those baskets here. Coming up on 3 minutes into the third quarter. Grizzlies in command as they look around, try to break through into the, and they're just going to work on the passing game a little bit now, pull up with the shot, and connecting is Pukas. That is numbers 8 and 9 points in the game for her, and it's up to a 15-point lead at 34-19 here at Snohomish High School on STSPN.com. Long one. Off the mark left side, and the Grizzlies get it again. Here they go. Just didn't quite have the right angle on that one. She had a good idea, but it was a little bit short and then come off the rim there as the Panthers will get it back. And a big three ball would be nice right here, but they've been working on going inside more, although we've seen Andreessen be able to hit a three ball. She's hit 2 of them. 7 seconds left on the shot clock as it's getting down low, and that's going to go out of bounds. Snohomish will maintain possession. I got to do something about the shot clock. It's got 43 seconds on it. I'm not aware of any sport that has the 43-second shot clock. So here we go. That's going to be going out of bounds. It is. So Snohomish will cough it up. Maybe there's like a country like Cyprus that has a 43-second shot clock. Okay, 4:01 to go, third quarter, a 15-point lead for Glacier Peak, and they can kind of take their time right here, work for what they'd like, and spend some time off the clock. A special thanks again to Airfield Espresso right there on the Snohomish Town side of Harvey Field. Look at that drive. Pukas now in double figures with 11. 7 in the first half, 4 so far here in the third quarter. It's up to a 17-point lead at 36-19. Biggest lead of the game. Panthers had a brief lead early. If you're just tuning in, they were up 3-0 on an early three ball. And then Glacier Peak got it up to 5-3. It was 5-5, and then Snohomish falling behind and has trailed throughout the rest of the game up to this point. Excellent work down low by Tyler Gildersleeve Styles. She has been a workhorse in this game. Now 6 points. Her first 2 here in the second half. Under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. First game of our doubleheader on STSPN.com. The boys scheduled to start at 7:15. Same 2 teams. Same 2 schools. Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah! Tyler Gildersleeve Styles takes her time and gets it to drop in there. Kind of had a little tap of the rim, but it's a nice-looking shot. And the crowd certainly getting into that one. So it's down to a 12-point lead, still very much a big lead for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. In front court in the blue uniforms, driving through, underhanded shot. You can count that one for Kailani Rookstool. She's up to 7 points, and she will have a foul shot. Foul goes against Tyler Gildersleeve Styles, her second foul. And that's going to be team foul number 1 against Snohomish. At the foul line is Rookstool, her first trip to the line. Glacier Peak so far in this game is 2 for 2. Make it 2 for 3 now. That comes out. Look who gets it. Rookstool. And so Glacier Peak gets fresh time on the clock, and they're going to look like they're going to get a third chance at it. No, it's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Grizzlies. Going back to the Panthers. Kendall Hammer will come in for Snohomish. Hammer getting some quality minutes in that first half, picked up a couple of points. Panthers have had 6 players score, and the same for Glacier Peak. Around the perimeter, 15 on the shot clock. Look down there, posting up, Tyler Gildersleeve Styles. Oh! She had the right idea, was in the paint. Good step-in move, but she just couldn't finish it. We got a whistle on the floor right there. Here comes the foul indication against the Grizzlies. Foul goes against Kate Fowler, her first foul. Second team foul. It'll be out of bounds Panthers with 1:36 to go in the third quarter here at Snohomish. That's a tough pass to handle. Nobody can seem to get the handle on it. Now there's a push. Yep. Just good hustle by both teams trying to get the ball. That was Jada Andreessen, her first foul. Second team foul. Each has 2 here in the second half. It's going to be Kailani Rookstuhl coming out, and Peyton Chin, a junior, getting into the action right here. With Peyton over on the right wing as Glacier Peak has the basketball, a 14-point lead. Their biggest lead has been 17 at 36-19. They led by 7 at halftime and 5 at the end of the first quarter. Couple dribbles, fires away. Almost in the hands of Tyler Gildersleeve Styles, but goes to another player who commits a traveling violation. 6 turnovers against the Panthers in the third quarter, 14 in the game and 6 total for Glacier Peak. One's across the board, 1:11 to go, third quarter. And the Grizzlies will give it another chance right here. They got 30 on the shot clock. Nice block in there that time, good hand. That time for the Panthers, it was Sienna Capelli. Handled the point really well in that first half. Under a minute to go now. It's fun to watch these matchups and wonder how long these girls have known each other with living in such proximity to each other with Snohomish and Glacier Peak. Off the backside. The Drew iron, the shot clock started up once they got a hold of it, and it's the Panthers to have the ball. They'll come out of backcourt now. Handling the ball is Andreessen. Looking. Back up top she goes. Gildersleeve Styles, that's Brooklyn. To her sister Tyler. Coming in. Almost traveled, now throws it out of bounds. Well, you can't fault her for effort because she was really trying hard, Tyra was, to make the play that time. Now for the Panthers, Catherine Green will come in. She is a junior and started the game for now replacing Tyler Gildersleeve Styles. Glacier Peak will work for one shot, up by 14 with the fourth quarter right around the corner. Out they go. Yep, just kind of faded off to the left side at the end, and that is the end of the third quarter. Our score, 38-24, as Glacier Peak picks up 12 more in that quarter. Snohomish only 5, and the Grizzlies have it up to a 14-point lead as we head to the fourth and final quarter here at Snohomish High School on STSPN.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's right here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
People say that there's no such thing as superheroes, that superhuman strength is only something you read about in comic books. They say men can't fly, and they can't breathe underwater. That's because they don't know my dad.
The Navy SEAL Foundation is committed to supporting the warriors and families of naval special warfare. Join us at NavySEALFoundation.org.
We certainly appreciate having the Army and Navy on as sponsors, and that one there for the Navy SEAL Foundation. Great contributions there. And, of course, Todd Elvig in the Navy for 12 years. I have high respect for that. Thank you, Todd. Veterans Day a couple of weeks ago. We go to the fourth quarter. It's a 14-point lead for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies as they just keep adding to their point total on the lead with the end of every quarter so far. Fans anticipating something, and it happens there. That is Kailani Rookstool as she gets another one. And now has 13 points in the game. No, let me check that. 9 points.
Well, I'm hearing her name a lot.
There's a shot fired up. Yeah, she's been very much involved in all the activity out there. As Glacier Peak controlling the boards, and they'll move it out of backcourt. They've been really patient working on setting shots up. Boys game to follow at 7:15. That's when it's scheduled to start, depending on how long this one goes. We did start a little bit later, about 8 minutes later than we were supposed to for the girls' game, as the JV game went long between Glacier Peak and Snohomish, with Glacier Peak winning 52-40. Last year, when these two teams met up, and keep in mind, they're both in the Western Conference Wesco, but Glacier Peak is 4A and Snohomish is 3A. They played last year on December 7th over at Glacier Peak, and Snohomish won that one 53-44. So they won it by 9 points. That's going to go out of bounds. Panthers will have the basketball, and down by 16. They got their work cut out for them. Every trip down is very important. Inbound pass is right there. Catherine Green connects on it, doing stuff like that, but it's been a really deliberate, methodical pace for Glacier Peak, which has certainly worked for them. It's worked out very well, and you see it right here as they're taking their time, bringing up the ball up court, and then working around trying to get that shot like that. That was perfect ball movement. Sliding through that time. Emmons off the pass from Rookstool, and it's back to a 16-point lead for the Grizzlies. Getting set to check back in for Snohomish is Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles. Her sister Brooklyn out there right now. There is a long-range bomb. Oh! It hit the black up above. Once again, we bring the word superstructure into play, but you can't use that as part of what helps your shot going, but it was a nice-looking shot in either way. They're going to talk about this. They're going to count it? They are going to count it. She says that's okay for it to hit up there.
I don't think that's correct.
I don't think that's correct either. I thought if you hit, and Tall Tom and I have talked about the superstructure many a times, that if you got it up there, that wasn't going to count. So she gets the basket.
Well, we'll have to check with Jeff Matson. He was with us on Wednesday.
He was. He is our true officiating expert that we have. That's a nice touch this year. We had him for the football game last month that Scott and I did. Glacier Peak with the basketball in front court. And a long-range jumper is good. That's perfect. Sammy Toma has hit 2 of those in the game and now has 8 points. She had not scored since hitting a couple of free throws in the second quarter. 16 points lead earlier, now 17 points for Glacier Peak. The miss by Kendall Hammer, and Glacier Peak gets the ball as we're inside 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Again, outside, nobody on her. That is something that Ken Roberts is going to be viewing on the video and go, okay, we need to seal that up as far as letting them have that gap, because I've seen that some here, especially as the game's gotten deeper along. Of course, she's also started dealing with players getting tired. It's early in the season. Double team, Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles can't quite connect on it. Going the other direction. That's good hustle. Jada Andreessen picking it off. Panthers into front court now, down by 17. Make that 16, excuse me. Turnaround jumper just off the backside of the rim. Love that hustle, though.
She hustles, doesn't she?
She does. It's been going that way all game long. Out of bounds. Last touch by Glacier Peak. I have them for 8 turnovers. Catherine Green's going to check. We got a timeout on the floor. 3:50 to go, fourth quarter.
Is that a full timeout?
It's a full timeout. It looks like it is, yes. Go ahead. We'll take a break as well right now. STSPN. We are back live here at Snohomish High School. Getting ready to start up once again. 3:50 to go, fourth quarter. A 16-point lead for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig here. And a good-sized crowd representing both schools and communities. There's Snohomish trying to go inside. They do! The entry pass made it work for Catherine Green, who finishes it up. Down to 14. Biggest lead has been 17 for Glacier Peak. And again, you see the patience of Brenna Pukas, just a sophomore. A 12-point per game average scorer. Same with the number one in front of her, Kailani Rookstuhl, down low. There's Rookstuhl right there. There she goes. That's 11 for her. They just keep making it happen. Pukas has 11 as well. And they are the leading scorers for both teams. Snohomish's leading scorer is Tyler Gildersleeve-Stiles with 9. That from this angle, we were right behind her, like, really good, but came off the rim. It's going to be out of bounds Snohomish. Panthers with 8 turnovers in each half. Total is 16 and just 8 for Glacier Peak. But time is definitely on Glacier Peak's side. Almost intercepted. That's going to be way off. Hustling is Brenna Pukas. All right,
She's
Todd, we're getting
down.
close as we're inside 3 minutes. We got to be thinking about the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. Thank you to Adrenaline Fundraising.
Well, the name I've heard a lot is
There's a carry. She has a delivering violation. Is somebody. I would say Brenna Pukas has had a great game. So is Kailani Rookstuhl. So we'll have Sarah.
Rookstuhl sounds, that's the name I heard.
She's done a lot.
Most recent.
Yeah. Here we go inside. That's going to be a foul. Going to go against Zoe Ritter, her second. Third team foul. Only 2 for Snohomish. Neither team got into the bonus in the first half. Up by 16. Glacier Peak in command. Kendall Hammer at the foul line. And connects on it. That's the first make for Snohomish in this game. They are 1 for 4. First attempt in the second half. 15-point lead for the Grizzlies. Down it goes. Perfect. 47-33. Snohomish with 9 points here in the quarter to match what they had in the second quarter. They had 10 in the first quarter, just 5 in the third. Sweeping drive into the lane. Capelli's going to go to the right side. It's off the fingertips of Kendall Hammer. 30-second timeout has been called. Yeah, coming up at 7:15 is we'll keep it right here. The boys will play Glacier Peak against Snohomish with the second game of our doubleheader and the third game so far of the season for STSPN. Looking forward to getting to do a number of them here in the month of December. Great when the schedule lines out well. The band here is always fantastic. They've won countless awards through the years. one of the great bands in the state of Washington, no doubt about it. And they play a lot of rock and roll or contemporary songs that keep it current, makes it a lot of fun. They don't just sit on old standards. They play a lot of creative stuff.
They do, too. I want to do a shout-out for the IT department at Snohomish School District. They haven't solved it yet, but
they're working on it.
For them to take the call, they're just awesome people.
That's fantastic. That helps us make what we do happen. They're working on something for us, and so we appreciate that very much. Glacier Peak in front court, under 10 seconds on the shot clock, up by 14. Panthers trying to shut them off from going inside, and that doesn't quite work as it just before the shot clock goes off. And a 16-point lead. Looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Snohomish with 1:19 to go in the fourth quarter.
I think they gave them the 2 points.
They gave them the 2 points. They gave Glacier Peak the 2 points.
Right. I thought maybe it was after the buzzer.
So, no, it was just before it. So we got a timeout on the floor. Let's keep it right here. Todd, what'd you have? We had a game a couple nights ago, right?
We did, and I'm going to play the clip during the next game. But, I got it.
Oh, you take that call. You got business. Let me mention our sponsors again as Todd's been working with the great Snohomish High School District IT department. We've had a little technical thing that hasn't caused us to go down. We've heard a good report from the Seattle Bureau at Magnolia, which monitors our broadcasts to make sure they're going out on the long distance. The Snohomish has the basketball. Debbie Larson in charge of our quality control at Magnolia, so we thank her for that great effort once again. That one's going to come off. And it's Glacier Peak with the ball, the lead, and the ball game. Up by 16 with 1 minute to go, and they're just going to ease up court. Always got the bragging rights when you beat each other, that's for sure. It happens certainly in football. They played real early in the season, usually right up front. And then here, getting things rolling tonight. Both teams have played one game, Snohomish 0-1, Glacier Peak 1-0. That one just rattles out of there, and Snohomish will make their way up court once again. But Glacier Peak's going to go to 2-0 after beating Meadowdale earlier this week. How about that? On the floor, just scrambling for it, and a held ball. So keep it tuned to STSPN all season long. We'll be bringing you a lot of basketball games, regular season, postseason. Another one of our great sponsors, Monster Beverage. Inbound pass. Panthers outside the arc. It'd be nice if they just get one to kind of wrap this thing up here. There it is. Bayla Stitch, 4 points. Glacier Peak's just going to run it out. Up by 14, 49-35. Let's go get, we're going to get player number 1 as I point to Sarah to make sure we can get Kailani Rookstool, who is a senior for Glacier Peak and the only senior on the team. They've got a relatively young team, but she brings that senior leadership. We see it tonight, and we're going to have her come up here, and I'll go over some points right here. 11 points for Rookstool. She had 11 against Meadowdale in their first game of the season. They played it yesterday, so back-to-back nights for Glacier Peak, and they're winners on each night. Tonight winning by 14 points as they really were able to put things together nicely. They had 11 in that final quarter, so 15, 11, 12, and 11. For Snohomish, they had 11 points in this quarter, and that was their biggest quarter. They had 10, 9, 5, and 11. The Glacier Peak picks up the win. The boys' game is scheduled to get going at 7:15. I think they'll have enough warm-up time for that to make it happen, and we're going to try. Here she comes. Here she comes. So we're going to get the headsets all ready to go here, do a little broadcasting on the fly. And here's Kailani right here. Thank you. All right, Todd's going to get things set. Remember, this is from Airfield Espresso, who got, look at I'm getting headphone hair already. It's early. I'm already getting it.
It looks fine.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, hey, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, great effort by your team tonight. They came out, got a three-pointer meeting Snohomish.
Yeah.
You guys just countered and then just kept going.
Yeah.
What was the game plan tonight?
Honestly, it was kind of just like slowing down the game, playing as a team mostly because we were kind of frazzled our first game, but we definitely pulled it together as a team and we got a good team win.
You two teams know each other pretty well, I'm sure.
Yeah, a few of us friends.
From being, growing up together and stuff. But it's such a great thing, the rivalry. Last year they beat your team by 9. This year you guys get it. So it really gets things going early in the season.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game, especially with the crowd showing up. It was a fun game. And a lot of the girls haven't played with the crowd, so I thought we did really well.
Oh, that's great. And the band is here.
Yeah.
So really good, almost really like a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your team. So you're the only senior on the team, right?
Yeah. And a lot of our girls haven't played varsity, so this is a lot of the girls' first time playing varsity.
Okay.
And I think during practice we really got it together, and we're playing pretty well.
Okay.
We've gone a long way.
That's great. So obviously that chemistry and teamwork makes a huge difference for you. And you're out there having been with the program through these years in Bryan Hill.
Yeah.
Great combination,
yeah,
huh?
I love it, yeah.
What about Snohomish? So one of the players we saw that we thought did really well out there hustling all night was Tyler Gildersleeve Stiles.
I agree. Yeah, it was tough guarding her.
Yeah, I believe. And your teammate also here. So you had 11 last night, is what we were told in the win over Meadowdale. And then also Brenna Pukas, 29, and tonight she had 11. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, we were pointing at the button. Now, we're going to give you this. So go ahead and stretch that out there. Oh, yeah, and she gets a lanyard too? She gets a lanyard too.
Thanks.
Look at this. There you go. Now that is going to be on Facebook, social media, Twitter, I believe. So there you go. That's a star right there. Are you looking at going and playing college basketball?
I'm honestly not too sure yet, but I'm just going through the season, kind of seeing where my head's at. But
it's early.
Yeah.
Think about it, but your leadership is great, whether you want to continue playing or maybe look at coaching down the road.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you so much.
All right, good job out there tonight.
Thank you.
That's Kailani Rookstool, our adrenaline fundraising player of the game, and we thank everybody for being here and being a part of our broadcast tonight as we had quite a first game. 49-35, the final score as Glacier Peak beats Snohomish to get us started here in the doubleheader. What's going to happen in the second game as the Snohomish boys are out there warming up already. I'm Mark Aucutt with Todd Elvig and Sarah Elvig. We'll take a break now, and this is STSPN.com. Should be ready to go at 7:15, a little bit before 7:15, so stay with us. Thank you.